In Mass Mutation, we got to see a lot of familiar faces return from previous sets in mutated forms, and it was super neat to see their mechanics and appearances evolve just slightly due to their exposure to Dark Ember. One of the most welcome changes, I think, came in the form of Bad Penny mutating into Rad Penny. Whereas Bad Penny could be something of a nuisance a lot of the time, constantly being returned to your hand and being discarded a lot, Rad Penny changed the dynamic completely, being given a steal effect on play and getting shuffled back into your deck when destroyed. Rad Penny's continued appearances throughout a given game could be extremely frustrating for your opponent to deal with, especially in conjunction with cards like Pincerator or virtually anything that deals even a single damage. Bad Penny was great combo fuel too. A famous pair of cards from Call of the Archons was Bad Penny with Seeker Needle, preferably multiple Seeker Needles, but in my opinion, I think Rad Penny is the superior of the two. Their flavor texts are even really cool too. Bad Penny's reads, "A bad penny saved is a bad penny earned," while Rad Penny's reads, "A penny stolen is even better than a penny saved." Bad Penny is also referenced in the flavor text of Aembermedes reading, "My sister and I have a job lined up. You in, Penny?" with his sister referred to being, of course, Javinda. Shadows wasn't the only house with cool mutants though. Each house had one of these earlier set mutants, and in Sanctum, Bulwark mutated into Bulwark. While the original Bulwark gave each of its neighbors 2 extra armor, Bulwark gives each neighbor Assault 2, while also having Assault 2 itself. Sanctum in Mass Mutation does a lot of fighting, what with cards like Gizelhart's Zealot and Baldric the Bold making appearances, and others like Lieutenant Gorvenal and Font of the Eye rewarding you for that fighting, so Bulwark fits in perfectly. It's always nice to have a little extra armor on your creatures, making direct damage a little less effective, especially with smaller creatures like Hunting Witch or Carlo Phantom, but Assault 2 can have its uses just as well. Again, the flavor text is great, with Bulwark offering to be your shield, and Bulwark offering to be your horns. In Logos, Doc Bookton mutated into Bot Bookton, going from allowing you to draw a card upon Reap to playing the top card of your deck upon Reap. Obviously, the risk is a little higher with Bot Bookton, but with Doc Bookton you may not get to play the card you draw if it doesn't belong to the right house. Both creatures can be finagled with a little if you can properly set up your upcoming cards, but either way they're both neat, especially seeing as Bot Bookton is literally Doc Bookton and Helper Bot combined. Comm Officer Kirby, on the other hand, apparently had a much rougher time of things, since he mutated into Subject Kirby. Based on his flavor text, assuring whoever's researching him that he feels fine, I would assume he's being kept by the Grand Star Alliance as a subject for testing regarding what mutated him. The original Kirby lets you play a non-Star Alliance action, upgrade, or artifact, whereas Subject Kirby lets you play the one other thing missing from that list, a non-Star Alliance creature. Both Kirbys are extremely useful, and offer some of the best house cheating out there, especially in multiples and when they can be protected. They both can lead to some insane combos, fit very well into their respective sets, and are must-kill threats for the opponent to deal with. In Dis, Charette mutates into Snarette, going from capturing 3 Ember all at once to capturing 1 Ember per turn, but having the opportunity to move that captured Ember to the common supply. The original Charette is great for taking the opponent off check in an emergency situation, but in Call of the Archons, captured Ember will pretty much always go back to the opponent once that creature is destroyed. Snarette can potentially stop this from happening, but captures Ember at a much slower rate. I think they're both fantastic creatures, but for many people, being able to get the Ember off of Snarette can give it the edge over Charette sometimes. Apparently, Senator Strix from Worlds Collide lost the election, because in Mass Mutation she loses control, gives into the power of Dark Ember and goes haywire. Instead of allowing you to spend Ember offer to forge your keys, instead she straight up steals it, albeit at the cost of her getting exalted. Strix goes from a renowned senator to a mere civilian, but somehow she's still honored with a monument in the form of Monument to Strix. Both effects are extremely potent. Senator Strix is extremely easy to protect and combo off of in Worlds Collide, and Citizen Strix acts as some stellar Ember control, along with a tiny bit of burst when she reaps, making her quite the threat, even at 3 power compared to 4 power 1 armor. House Untamed actually has a couple candidates for its mutant creature. It looks like Dew Fairy, with its elusive and reap gain 1 effect, mutates into Dark Fairy, with Skirmish and a fight gain 2 effect. Rapid Evolution is a card you always want to see with Dark Fairy. Bumping it up to a 6 or higher power skirmish creature that gains you a third of a key whenever you fight with it is quite a terrifying sight to behold, and can put your opponent in some pretty sticky scenarios. The other option might be Fuzzy Gruen evolving into Cephaloist. Their effects are very different from each other, but appearance-wise it definitely looks like the cute Ember-providing Fuzzy Gruen mutates into the excellent Steel Hate card Cephaloist. And some, including myself, theorize that Briar Grubbling from Coda mutates into Pismire. I'm not totally sure on the accuracy of that, but it looks promising to me, and I think it would be really cool as a sort of less obvious hidden mutation. But there we have it. Those are all the creatures from prior sets that received a Dark Ember mutation moving into KeyForge's incredible, flavorful 4th set. Let me know in the comments which mutation is your favorite, or maybe which is your least favorite, and what sort of mutations you think would have been cool to see in Mass Mutation. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.